Welcome to our deep dive on the realities of saving for a home while avoiding common affordability traps. In this video, we will explore how to balance aggressive savings goals with long-term financial health. We will also examine the optimal places to hold your down payment funds, evaluate your monthly affordability, and build a step-by-step action plan. To begin, let's outline the journey we're about to take so you know exactly what to expect. Here is today's agenda. First, we will frame the dilemma between saving aggressively for a down payment and staying invested for long-term growth. Next, we will assess the current financial starting point. Then, we will discuss why down payment cash within 2 years must be protected. After that, we will analyze the timeline math and the affordability test. We will then assemble an actionable plan, followed by quick quizzes to reinforce learning. Finally, we will wrap up with key takeaways. Before we begin, a quick disclaimer. This content is for educational purposes and does not constitute personalized financial advice, tax advice, or legal advice. Your situation may differ, and you should consult a qualified professional before making major decisions. With that established, let's move into the core dilemma faced by many aspiring homeowners. The core dilemma is this: saving aggressively for a down payment can conflict with the desire to keep long-term investments growing. The faster you steer cash toward a down payment, the less you have compounding in markets. Conversely, leaving too much in volatile investments risks your down payment target if markets drop. Next, let's clarify your current financial starting point so the trade-offs are concrete. Here is the starting point. Take-home pay is approximately $3,900 per month. Current monthly expenses are under $1,000, which is extremely low. There is no debt. The current savings rate is around $1,600 per month. The target home price is $375,000, and at 20% down, the target down payment is $80,000. With this foundation, you have a strong position. Now let's talk about where the down payment cash should live in the short term. Any funds intended for a down payment in the next 0 to 2 years should not be in volatile assets. They should be placed in high-yield savings accounts or short-term certificates of deposit. The primary objective is capital preservation, not market outperformance. If you have liquid cash in a brokerage account, for example $15,000, consider transferring it into insured cash equivalents. Investing is best reserved for funds that you will not need for at least 5 years. Next, let's examine the timeline math for reaching the $80,000 goal. Here is the timeline challenge. Currently, you are saving about $1,600 per month. To reach $80,000 in roughly 2 years, you would need to save about $2,375 per month. That leaves a shortfall of about $775 per month. The recommended approach is to redirect approximately $775 from non-retirement investments to the down payment fund. The key decision is whether to accept temporarily slower retirement contributions to maintain a 2-year timeline or extend the timeline to keep long-term investments on track. Now, before increasing savings, we must run the affordability test. For a $375,000 home, the monthly principal, interest, taxes, and insurance could easily range from $2,000 to $2,500 depending on rates and location. It goes. Against a monthly take-home of approximately $3,900, that range represents roughly 50 to 64% of income. Adding utilities and maintenance could raise costs by $200 to $400 or more per month. That level of housing expense risks leaving you house poor, where cash flow becomes tight and financial flexibility is limited. With that risk in mind, let's construct an action plan designed to protect both the down payment and your future cash flow. Here is the action plan. First, maximize your current low-expense situation. Save toward the full 20% down payment and separately build a 6-month emergency fund based on projected homeowner costs, not current rent. For example, $15,000 or more, depending on final PITI and utilities. Second, focus on increasing income through career advancement. This allows you to sustain retirement contributions while reaching the down payment target and improves your debt-to-income ratio. Third, if income growth does not materialize quickly, either lower the target home price or extend the buying timeline to maintain long-term stability. Fourth, keep down payment funds in high-yield savings or short-term certificates of deposit and reserve market investing for money needed in 5 years or more. Fifth, Conduct a dry run by simulating the projected mortgage payment today. Set up automatic transfers equal to the difference between your current housing costs and the future PITI into savings. This will test affordability and accelerate savings.
Next, to visualize the journey from saving to closing, let's look at a process diagram.
This sequence diagram shows the step-by-step path from saving to closing. You first move money from market investments into high-yield savings or short-term certificates of deposit to preserve capital. Next, you perform a dry run of the projected mortgage payment to test affordability. Then, you approach a lender for pre-approval and assess your debt-to-income ratio. Based on that assessment, you may adjust your target price or extend the timeline. Afterward, you shop for homes, lock an interest rate, and proceed to closing. The notes emphasize capital preservation and the importance of a dedicated emergency fund alongside the down payment. Now that we have the process, let's compare two strategy paths side by side. On the left is the 2-year push. This approach requires about $2,375 per month toward the down payment, often requiring a reduction in non-retirement investing. The benefit is a faster purchase, but it raises short-term cash strain and increases the risk of being house poor if income does not increase.
The mock PITI test is critical here.
On the right is the extended timeline.
Savings continue at roughly $1,600 to $2,000 per month while maintaining retirement contributions.
This path allows more time to grow income and the emergency fund, reduces stress, and may benefit from improved market conditions later. The trade-off is a longer wait before purchasing. To further clarify the runway, let's lay out a simple timeline. This timeline spans 24 months. In months 0 to 3, move down payment funds to high-yield savings or short-term CDs, start a mock PITI transfer, and establish the emergency fund baseline. Months 4 through 12 focus on maintaining deposits, pursuing income growth, and revisiting the target price quarterly. Months 13 through 18 involve rechecking interest rates and your debt-to-income ratio while preparing for pre-approval. Finally, months 19 through 24 are about finalizing the emergency fund to 6 months of projected homeowner expenses, shopping and locking a rate, and closing only if affordability metrics still pass. Next, let's quantify a sample monthly budget shift before and after the plan. This table illustrates a sample monthly budget shift. Under current conditions, housing is $600, and total savings to the down payment are $1,600. In a mock homeowner scenario, housing rises to $2,200, utilities increase to $300, savings to the down payment become $2,375 during the ramp, and retirement or investing is reduced temporarily to $300. The buffer decreases modestly. This exercise reveals whether cash flow remains comfortable before committing to a purchase. With that practice budget in mind, let's test your understanding with a short quiz. Question 1. Where should you keep money intended for a down payment you plan to use within the next 0 to 2 years? Option A. A broad market stock index fund in a brokerage. Option B. A high-yield savings account or short-term certificates of deposit. Option C. Cryptocurrency. Option D. A long-term corporate bond fund. You may pause the video now to consider your answer. We will discuss the correct answer in the next section. The correct answer is B. For short-term goals within 0 to 2 years, the priority is capital preservation. High-yield savings accounts and short-term certificates of deposit are appropriate. Market volatility in stocks, crypto, or longer-duration bond funds can jeopardize near-term purchase goals.
Now let's try a second question focused on affordability.
Question 2. If your monthly take-home pay is approximately $3,900 and your estimated principal, interest, taxes, and insurance payment is about $2,200 per month, what percentage of your income would housing consume? Option A, about 30%. Option B, about 45%. Option C, about 56%. Option D, about 65%. You may pause the video now to consider your answer. We will discuss the correct answer in the next section.
The correct answer is C, approximately 56%. 2,200 divided by 3,900 is roughly 0.564. A housing ratio at this level raises a red flag for becoming house poor. With that in mind, let's consolidate the most important takeaways. Here are the key takeaways. First,
Protect down payment cash by using high-yield savings accounts or short-term CDs for 0 to 2-year goals. Second, to reach approximately $80,000 in 2 years, target about $2,375 per month, and consider redirecting about $775 from non-retirement investments. Third, run the affordability test by comparing PITI plus utilities and maintenance to your take-home income. Fourth, build a 6-month emergency fund based on future homeowner expenses. Fifth, prioritize income growth to sustain retirement investing and improve your debt-to-income ratio. Finally, if income growth is delayed, lower the target price or extend the buying timeline. This mind map centers on affordability. The income branch includes salary growth and potential side income. The PITI branch captures interest rate, property taxes, and insurance costs. Non-housing costs include utilities, maintenance, and transportation. Reserves include a 6-month emergency fund, closing costs, and move-in expenses. The risk branch addresses job stability and potential interest rate changes. By evaluating each branch, you gain a holistic view of whether a purchase is sustainable. With the full picture in mind, let's wrap up. In summary, protect down payment funds in safe accounts, stress test your budget with a mock PITI, and choose between a 2-year push or an extended path based on income and comfort. Maintain retirement investing if possible, and focus on growing income to make the numbers work. Only proceed with a purchase when affordability metrics pass with a comfortable margin. Finally, I have one more request to help this channel grow. Thank you for watching. If you found this helpful, please like the video, share it with a friend, and subscribe for more smart money content. In the comments, let us know whether you plan to push for a 2-year purchase or extend the timeline, and explain why. Your insights can help others in the community.